Hello and welcome to this video. My name is Nila and these are my notes. Today we're gonna have a little paint with me session, painting some nice and autumn-like watercolor flowers. And this is my very first video. I'm kind of nervous and excited, and I'm really happy that you're here and hope that you enjoy this little paint with me session. I thought we'd just sit down and relax a little bit while getting to know each other a bit more, and if you want to, you can drop some thoughts and feelings, whatever, in the comments. So yeah, we have a little chat actually, and not just me talking all the time. I thought starting this channel it would be cool to tell a little bit about myself, why I started this YouTube channel, what my vision for the future is, and who I am basically. I hope that's interesting for you, and if not, you can just turn the volume down or whatever. My insecurities are definitely showing here, and that is definitely something that I don't want to press down for my videos and that I don't want to hide. Even though I know it's sometimes annoying hearing people excusing themselves all the time, I always think you don't have to do that when someone apologizes for something, and I'm exactly like that all the time. This is not really like my first try to start a YouTube channel. The idea to do that has been on my mind for quite some time and popped up over and over again over the last months and probably years. But I never really went with it. Or I started and got unmotivated again and stopped and basically felt like failing all the time. And also the problem is whenever I started to do it and filmed something and would get to the editing part, things would stop me. Things like hearing myself talk with my Dinglish. I'm from Germany and I think you can probably hear that, and that makes me quite insecure. Things like, I don't know anything about videos basically. I have to start from scratch and teach myself everything on my own, and I'm not the most patient person. I like to, or in my head I want to do things and they are perfect. And so impatience and perfectionism are basically two things that definitely stopped me from going for the YouTube thing, because I'm looking at YouTubers who are doing what they're doing for years now and who went through all the phases of struggling and learning and getting to the point where they are now had probably taken them a lot of stress, a lot of time, and I want that result that they're having now. Like, I want to achieve things that people accomplished with 10 years of work, but I want it in 10 minutes of work. That is something that is kind of frustrating for me and that I struggle with a lot, and that is why I probably started and not finished a lot of projects. Knowing that about myself and always having in the back of my head, if you start that, you're probably not going to finish it, is not really motivating, and it is really frustrating and a big struggle for me. But I thought if I want to become a little more happy in my life, I just gotta go for the things that I want again, because I've been probably telling myself over the last couple of months pretty impressively how I'm not able to finish anything, how I'm just failing all the time, and kind of pushing myself in a downward spiral of negative thoughts and thinking, while maybe all I had to do was shifting my perspective. And the perspective I have is that I got this certain picture of how a happy life looks from mainly social media and YouTube, that I have the idea to be successful in order to be happy, and that success is doing your passion, earning a lot of money so you are financial free and safe, and knowing exactly who you are, where you want to go, what you want from life, all that stuff. And I have not been finding myself in any of these places over the last 2 to 3 years at all. My life doesn't look like fancy social media life at all, and I think that is what I struggled with quite a lot in the last months and years. And what I mean with that, I probably just have to shift my perspective, is that I started to realize that my life is just not that linear. I know where I'm going, I have this goal, and I achieve it no matter what. My life is more like, oh, I have an idea, I gotta follow it, and maybe I stick to it, or maybe I just do something else in a week. And since I feel like I'm not the only one who feels like that, who is like that, there are probably a lot of people struggling in similar ways as I do. I wanted to somehow share that, combining it with my creativity, with my passions. My passions have been basically photographing, drawing, and bullet journaling for quite a long time now. And since I figured out that everything I tried to make photography my job is not the way I wanted to be my job, and since I'm pretty much all about bullet journaling and spending hours and hours of planning and watching videos and being in this beautiful bubble, in this beautiful community, I thought that I want to be a part of that, and that I want to start sharing my own journey with all these creative messes that I make. So yeah, my creative journey started like with always being creative as a kid and drawing all kinds of stuff, and later starting with photography. And this is what I wanted to do after school. So I did that. And I actually have to look up the word because I don't know the English word for it, or I always forget it actually. So after school I did my 3-year training as a photographer, and before that I actually went 2 years to a special school that was focused on art and design. And I think this whole training thing is maybe quite a German, Europeanish thing, I'm not sure. But this is what I did. I am a trained photographer. And after that, I tried to start my own business. And I did that right before Corona, started in Germany, and it was a struggle. In between, it worked out quite well, I guess. Not that I could have lived with that on my own, but it worked for the time. With each week and month, I just started to realize that I wasn't really feeling happy with that. I realized that what I believed I should do with photography, like finding clients, doing amazing work for special projects and all that stuff, and struggling so much with advertising, finding those clients, that was not fun at all for me. That was such a struggle, such a fight. And if you're fighting basically every day, that's not happiness. And so in the last months, maybe the last year, I realized quite a lot of things that I don't want to do that anymore. I don't want to try to be the photographer that I think I have to be, but that I, at the other hand, don't want to be. And this led to kind of an identity crisis, because I thought I am a photographer and this is my identity for quite a long time. And kind of like detaching myself from that image that I had about myself in my head, which was quite some hard mental work. And with that, it opened like a whole new blank page with the big question, what do I want to do? And that is quite a scary question that I probably don't even have the answer to right now. And I just had a lot of different ideas over the time. One was, for example, that I wanted to become a nutritionist, because that is how I am. I can get excited about basically anything and get caught in the idea, oh, this is what I want to do now, this is my new thing, this is my way. But then it isn't really. And I just learned that I had to go with these phases and figure out how they work for me, how I feel with them. And with that, I mean, like, for example, the nutritionist thing. I thought about doing like a course on that where I would have to pay 100 euros each month or something, and that would go for a year to become a nutritionist. And to me, in those excitement phases, it's so easy to just do that, to press pay and do it. But I've learned to just wait a little bit and see how I'm feeling about that stuff in a few weeks. And a lot of the times in a few weeks I'm not excited anymore and I don't care anymore at all. So yeah, I didn't become a nutritionist, obviously. And since social media is responsible for telling me and probably a lot of other people that this is failing, I had to learn that it's actually not. It's just finding out what you don't want. And I have 100 things that I wanted for a little bit of time, and then I didn't anymore, and that's okay. And with all this time, or in all this time, YouTube always has been something that I found fascinating, that I spend so much time on. I am such a nerd watching so ridiculously many YouTube videos about bullet journaling and other stationery related and creative related stuff, that I guess maybe just consuming all of that made me think I want to be part of that. I want to show my own creativity, but also that I enjoy the things that I do for myself so much. And maybe it's just natural that you like to share that. Maybe that's a thing of our generation with social media. But whenever I talk to people, it leads to that, why don't I even share that? Why do I just keep that to myself? And I just thought if it's something that keeps coming to my mind, then I should give it a go. And that also means working on my own expectations, on my perfectionism, on all that stuff. But that's the challenge, I guess. Nothing is perfect from first try, and that is also the fun. This is where we are. This is why I started this channel, and this is the vague idea of where I want to go. Like, I didn't even tell you where I want to go, right? But I think that got quite clear through all my talking that I'm into bullet journaling, creativity, and I want to share about that. So yeah, in this video you've been seeing me creating these watercolor-like flowers. And I believe this isn't even real watercolor, I'm not an expert on that. And maybe that's something that I want to share a bit too, that you don't need to be professional, you don't have to have skills, and you don't need to create anything amazing in order to be creative. Most of my stationery and art supplies are pretty cheap, but they do the job, they bring me joy, and that's what it's all about, right? And in the end, I'd like to already announce that there is an Etsy shop that I have where I want to sell some of the things that I create as digital downloads, so you can print them out for your own journals or whatever, wherever you want to decorate with them. So you can just glue them in or even print them on sticker paper and cut them out. If that's something you're enjoying, you find the link in the description box, and I hope you visit me over there. I already spend a lot of time and effort with that. So yeah, the vision for this channel is sharing creativity, but also just honesty, basically, because I feel like this is something we can use a little more on the internet, that life is not perfect, things are not perfect, and to me, for future bullet journal videos, those aren't perfect too, and nothing is meant to be perfect. And sometimes you just gotta start and jump into things without knowing where they're going. Yeah, I hope you might stay here with me on my journey, and I hope that you enjoy my videos. I hope you're patient till they get a bit better. It's like crazy how it looks so easy to create YouTube videos. I feel like people just sit in front of the camera talking for hours, and I'm struggling just speaking a bit. And yeah, all the stuff with editing and effects and everything that you need for creating videos is just overwhelming. And I told myself that I can just start simple. I don't need the fancy intros, all that stuff that all my favorite YouTubers have. I just try to start now, and I'm happy that you're here with me. If you stayed till the end, thank you so much. That means a lot to me. And it would mean the world to me if you want to support me, like this video, write a comment, if you want to share it, and maybe leave a subscription. That will be super cool. I guess that's it. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope it was calming and relaxing, and I hope I see you in my next video. Bye.